Hiya. Right, I just want to say, this isn't for kids, there's bad language in it, and it's not for people that can't use their brain either, okay? Because I'm done speaking to stupid people. And at the end of the video, I'll put another video onto it, which I'm gonna make in a bit now. Yeah, so it's a video that shows the effects that the sunlight is now having on the plants, whereas it shouldn't be. See, I'm recording this after all of what I've just recorded, which you're gonna see next. So, just to let you know. Who is it that runs the world? Well, what day is it today? It's a bank holiday, right? And when there's a bank holiday, everything stops. So, who is it that runs the world? It's the banks, obviously. The bankers, the banker bloodlines, the Canaanite Phoenicians, Babylon banking bastards. So, the government can't call a holiday, can they? Unless there's like some reason to do it, right? But they've got to ask permission from the bankers and the royal family. Can they? Yeah, they can. But they've got to ask permission to the bankers. So it's the bankers that run the world. So what is the purpose of government? Well, government, their primary job is to add to the national debt, right? And they add to the national debt because when a man is in debt, he's a slave to the creditor until the debt is paid off. So, by adding to the national debt, they keep the country, the nation, in debt, in slavery, tax slavery, to the bankers. Now, can you think of anything at all, that the government do that is good for us? Because I can't. Not one fucking thing. Right? You might think, oh well, they give us this and that benefit. You know, they help the people that's out to work and all this and that. Where do they get the fucking money? They put it on the national debt. Fucking hell. I can't believe that I've got to explain this when there's been so many videos and so many people talking about this stuff, but they've completely walked around it. It's unbelievable. It is. But that's what government are there for. They're not there to help us. Why do they keep giving money away overseas and adding it to the national debt? Why are they funding wars and adding it to the national fucking debt? Come on, man. It's to keep us enslaved to the bankers. That's what's going on. Fucking hell. And no, this is a fag or a cigarette. It's not a joint. I don't smoke that shit. Because it limits your consciousness, okay? That's like, you've got alcohol for the bloody law-abiding citizen, and then you've got drugs then for the ones who don't give a shit about the law, the transgressors. but they all do the same bloody thing. They all limit your consciousness, right? And why they want to limit our consciousness is so as we can't figure out, or we don't have time to think about why government are there and why they keep adding to the national fucking debt. Like COVID, what was COVID about? Well, yeah, population control, right? You know, because I don't know anyone who has had a job that isn't suffering some illness in one way or another. You know, and there's me then, and people like my mother that haven't had the job, and we ain't suffering shit, except for a cough. And the cough that we got is because of the fucking shit they keep spraying in the sky day and bloody night. That they say is for weather modification. Well, why are you spraying in the night when there's no sun or no weather to modify? Yeah. It's poison. It's for filling our bodies full of metals. Because when we are full of metals, especially like graphene oxide, right? It makes us trackable. Like, what is 5G? Right? 5G is many things. It's to do with the weather, right? They use it to piss about with the weather, to make sure they get a better coverage, to make sure that the sun isn't cooking us. I'm sure we all believe that fucking story. But nah, it's not that at all, is it? 5G, it beams out a signal, right? A radar type signal. I can explain it, but not right now because I can't be asked to go into that shit. But basically, it bounces off the metals in our body, and then we're all trackable, right? That's what it's about. It's about tracking us. But it's also a very less nice purpose to it. Like they use a phased array antenna, which is directional. So it's a beamforming technology. And what that means, beamforming, is just like a laser, right? You can have a 1 watt light bulb and it will be dim as shit. But have you seen how powerful a 1 watt laser is? Exactly. That's what beamforming technology is about. It's about making the signal bloody stronger. So these technologies, right? Everyone knows that it causes cancer, right? Microwave technology is not good for us. It causes cancer. So what's going to happen, right? If you've got a lot of metals in your body from the sky, it's going to amplify. It's going to amplify the EMF, right? And when the EMF is amplified, that means it's cancer causing, whatever you want to call it, is amplified too. Man, I look like shit today. Let's go back in the sun so I can't fucking see myself. Right, so COVID. What was COVID? It was about depopulation. So then you've got the links, haven't you, right? You've got the weather modification, you've got the 5G, and the metals that they've injected into the body, and the metals that come from the weather modification. Okay, but there's other stuff in the jabs that is not good, and it's making people sick. Like SV40. Now, SV40 is what they use in labs to give mice and rats cancer. Yeah, so as they can try to find drugs to cure cancer. Why is that in a vaccination, which is supposedly saving your life from a disease, or what they call it, virus, Yeah, virus. Let's go there. Virus is a Latin word, right? And it translates from Latin to poison. So, has anyone got a virus? As in a bug? Or are they poisoned? I'll let you think about that. Weather modification. Something that I don't think anyone has realised what weather modification is doing, right? They're putting up this layer of crap in the sky which is filtering the sunlight and is filtering out the infrared and red rays, okay? And that leaves a predominant blue. So infrared is needed for the body and for plants to uptake water and nutrients, right? Because infrared excites the mitochondria. You know, the mitochondria in your cells, which are the powerhouse. So when you were in a predominant blue light and a reduced infrared red spectrum, well, that makes the body not uptake, or it slows down the uptake of water and nutrients. Okay, so you might go outside and it's a sunny, lovely day like today, right? But you'll notice the sky ain't blue. That's not fucking blue, it's fucking grey. When I was a kid growing up, right, you'd look up at the sky and you'd see beautiful dark blue, you know, a deep blue. But you just don't see them skies anymore. Because they don't fucking exist. They keep spraying 24/7. Now, plants are the same as us when it comes to uptaking nutrients and water. Yeah? They also rely on a red spectrum, particularly the infrared spectrum. And when they haven't got that, and you've got a predominant blue, you'll see the leaves turning purple, yellow, all sorts of fucking colours they shouldn't be. They should be green, shouldn't they? Everyone knows leaves are fucking green. But after they've turned these colours, they start getting holes in them and stuff, and then they just die and fall off. So what I'm saying, right, is what is happening to these plants is happening to us. We're being dehydrated because dehydration is oxidative stress. Oxidative stress, aging, yeah, scar tissue, aging. This crap here. And this crap here. So right, you've got all of the things I mentioned, the COVID, the 5G, the weather modification and everything, right? And it's all to make us die quicker, to put us in the grave quicker. Now there are still people, loads and loads of people, that still believe that they can trust and count on the pharmaceutical industry and the healthcare industry to look after our health. Are you fucking nuts? You're mad. They all work for the same corporations, the bankers' corporations. BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. Right? What the bankers have done, they've created 3 corporations, and with these 3 corporations, they have bought majority shares in all the other corporations, right? Your government is a corporation, the healthcare system, it's all corporate, right? So they bought majority shares, and because they have majority shares, they can control what they do. I haven't mentioned the media and all that yet, right? But they own that too, through these three corporations. They bought pretty much the whole fucking world with these three corporations, right? Well, anyway, that's how they pulled off COVID. Because they control every bloody thing, they can tell them what to do. And they can make things happen. So what happens when everyone finds out that the money they've been paid with is Mickey Mouse money, Monopoly money? It's just paper. 2 seconds. All it is paper, and if you read it, right, it'll say, I promise to pay the bearer £10. Now, £10 of what? Piss off. £10 of what? Because there is no commodity. So if there is no commodity, right, that means that a piece of paper is a piece of paper. Isn't it? So if money has no commodity, where does it get its value? Belief, right? The people believe the money has value, and so it does. Yeah. So you tell me how this isn't a con. Right, when you go back to the gold standard, the money would say on it, it would say, I promise to pay the bearer £5 or £10 in gold, right? And that, then you'd be able to take that note to the bank and exchange your £5 note for £5 of gold. Yeah? So your money was worth something back then, and now it's fucking worthless. This thing keeps going out, man. So I gotta keep chuffing it. So why did the bankers want to take us off the gold standard? Because what I just said, you could take the money to the bank and swap it for X amount of gold, right? And that meant that £5 or a £5 note was worth £5 of gold. You couldn't change it. So what happened when they introduced fiat currency? Inflation, right? Which is the modern day version of coin clipping, devaluing money. Oh, it's fucking gone out again. So why do they want to devalue our money? To take the wealth from the poor and give it to the rich, to give it to the bankers. So they have all the money, they have all the power, and what we got? Nothing. We gotta just obey their bollocks. Fuck no. Why should we obey their bollocks when all they want to do is fucking kill us? Depopulation. There's too many people. Why is there too many people? Too many people to control. And another word for control is manipulate. What's another word for that? Manipulate and control. Govern. So when you go to sign on the register to vote for your favourite head that you want to see head of government, all you're doing really is you're raising your hand like, and saying, please sir, I want to be controlled. Because it doesn't matter who is sat there, they're just puppets of the bankers. What I mean by who is sat there in as a prime minister or your POTUS or whatever bullshit like that. And in government, right, you've got this left and right shit, haven't you? And they're supposed to oppose each other. But you're bound to have noticed, right, that it doesn't matter who gets into power, whether it's the left or the right, the same shit continues. They continue the job that the last one done, regardless of whether they're left or right. So how are government serving anyone? How are they serving anyone but the bankers? The World Economic Forum, the Davos crew, you know? All the scum of the earth. The scum of the earth that think they're better than us because they got money. Yeah, the worthless money. The difference is with the what you call them, the elite, the bankers, right, is that when they switched over from the gold standard to the fiat currency, all of the gold that was in the reserves, they kept the fucking lot. Yeah? So not only was swapping from the gold standard to the fiat currency a way of devaluing our money, but it was also a world heist where they stole all the money from the people. Not the money, sorry, the gold. The bastards even had the fucking cheek, right, to tell the people if they had any gold in their houses or whatever, that they've got to turn it in to the bankers. Fucking cheek, man. Oh, fuck me. Sorry. A couple of boys waiting to go past, didn't want to interfere with my little video here. Besides, I don't like really talking when people are watching. I don't know. But yeah, the bankers, they stole all the wealth from us, from our ancestors. And another thing about fiat currency is that it's all debt based, right? So if you've got debt based currency, how are you ever going to be out of debt? It's enslavement currency. You've got all these people talking about this, what is it, Nasara, something, I don't know, I hate this shit. Basically it's digital money, right? Now, digital money is basically just a digital version of fiat currency. Right, so, but at least fiat currency is physical, you know, you can hold on to it. Whereas digital money, what happens, right, if there's an EMP that takes out all the electronic chips, and how are you going to pay for anything? Right, all your money is stored on electronic things, the digital currency. How are you going to pay for a damn thing? So an EMP would bankrupt the whole world. It would make everyone piss poor. And they would have all the riches in the world. Pardon me. They'd have ultimate control over everything. So how is digital currency good for us? It's not. It's not good for us at all. The reason why they want digital currency isn't just because of what I just said, but it's also so they can close all the banks. Right? They can close all the banks, so that means they don't have to employ any bankers. Also, they don't have to transport money from bank to bank, right? So it's all about them saving money. Like I said earlier, they're a corporation, right? And what corporations do is they try to cut the costs as much as possible. They cut the costs as much as possible to make maximum profit. Because that's what a corporation does. That's their number one mission, to create profit. And then we can go back to the healthcare system. What happened when that turned corporate? It became all about profit. And it's no longer about healthcare at all. It's all about profit. No, and they don't want to cure nothing. There are no cures in this healthcare system. And that's because if you cure someone, you lose a customer. You lose profit. The whole damn system is a scam. Everything. Courts. Right, you've got corporate law in there. In the courts. So natural law doesn't apply to men anymore, living men, which it should, right? And that's because a corporation is a dead fiction. It's dead and it doesn't exist. I lost my train of thought. To get everyone under corporate law, they had to turn everyone into a corporation, into a dead fiction. Well, that's impossible, isn't it? Because we clearly all live in, like, you know what I'm saying? And, well, I don't know about you lot, but I'm not a fucking fiction. I'm as real as they come. I'm gonna light a no fucker. So, what they did to turn us into a legal fiction, right, is they created the birth certificate. And what the birth certificate does is it binds us to legal fiction. Right, because if you think about it, the piece of paper, right, is a dead version of us. It's got our name on it, our date of birth. So it's a graven image. It's a graven image of us. Yeah. So what happens when you walk into a courtroom and the judge reads out your name, right, and you agree to it? Yes, I'm that name. You were saying, yes, I am my birth certificate. You are the corporation. Yeah. They've got you. They've got you. Now they can prosecute you or embezzle the living shit out of you with these stupid fucking laws. And I call them stupid laws because they punish people for victimless crimes. If there's no victim, right, how can there be a crime? There can't be, can there? Because there's no bloody victim. And a corporation is a fictional entity, a dead fiction. So how can a dead fiction be the victim of bloody anything? See, all this stuff is purposely confusing, so people don't understand it. Fucking gone out again. Yeah, it's nearly dead. So, if people don't understand stuff, how can you defend yourself from it? You can't, can you? And even within the court itself, they talk a language called legalese, right? Which sounds like English, but it's not. They've got different definitions for the words. It's like registration. Registration means to drop ownership. So when you drop ownership, when you register something, you drop ownership of it. So that means that when you go to get your child registered for a birth certificate, you drop ownership of it, and then the state become the owners, right? The registrar picks up picks up the thing that was dropped, the ownership that was dropped. Is it all adding up to you yet? Con after con after con. It's a scam, it's a pyramid scheme. The pyramid scheme of banking bastards. And then you've got these people, right, which are working for these banker bastards. They're enabling it all. Yeah, the government, the bankers themselves, they're enabling this system. The people themselves, by believing that these people, these legal fictions have authority, they are fucking enabling the system. The police are basically slaves that are fucking policing the slaves. All for worthless money. For money that ain't worth nothing. God created this earth, okay? Not them. So why the fucking hell have we got to pay them to live? Why have we got to pay anyone a damn thing? Because when it all comes down to it, at the end of the day, mankind is all one entity. We all share the same consciousness, but we're all on different frequencies of it. That's the crack, right? We are one. So instead of paying for things, why don't we all work together to survive? Because basically that's all we need to do in it to survive, right? We don't need to be working 9 to fucking 5 to survive. But that's what the system is done, isn't it? It's set everything up, right? So as we got to slave away, working all these bastard hours for money, so as we can pay taxes and buy food and pay our bastard bills, which obviously the electric companies and the gas companies are all owned by the fucking bankers. So what is the problem? What is the problem of this world? The bankers. The banker bloodlines. The ones who have got all the fucking gold. Our gold. You got masonries. You know, the guys that are protecting these elite. And why they do it is because they paid a lot of money. They're worthless money. But that worthless money gives them a good life, see? And that's why they do it. Nah. But what happens when the banks crash and everyone realizes that their money is worthless? They can't buy a damn thing and they can't survive. They would have been protecting these pieces of shit for nothing. So what I'm saying is will all the people that are working for these scumbags stop? Stop protecting the pieces of shit that have got us all enslaved. Because they're not helping us at all. They're helping themselves, enriching themselves. They're keeping the cures for themselves while they're bloody feeding everyone bloody medications, right, which appear to get rid of one problem, but they create, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 more problems. The food system. Go into your supermarket, your corporate supermarket, and read the bloody ingredients of all the stuff that's on the back, the stuff that's in there. And then research what the stuff is. And you will see they have laced everything, or almost everything, with toxic shit. And that toxic shit, right, all of the toxicity it goes into our body and it dirties the waters in our body, so as our neurology and all that crap can't signal properly. And not only that, but the more toxic you are, the less your what's it called? The less responsive your immune system is. Yeah, so like for example, I'm on a forever detox, right? So a little bit of mold or a little bit of stuff that's in the sky, it really affects me, right? But other people, it doesn't affect them at all. And it doesn't affect them because they're full of toxicity. And the reason they want it's toxic for is because it limits our consciousness. Yep. That's all they're about, is limiting our consciousness to keep control of us. Because when our consciousness is raised, we work out all the stuff that I'm telling you now. Yeah? Consciousness raising, is becoming closer to God, embodying more of God's intelligence, and you can just see more. You know, you see through the illusion as if it's not there. But the problem is, it is there because everyone else is enabling it. See, I can't be free because everyone else is enslaved. They believe in the system, they believe in the authority, and so they enforce that authority onto me. You see? So it's impossible for one man to be free in this world. Impossible. And they've made it. That's for the system, it's the whole system. Right, I'll leave it there. Any questions? Just ask. Take care. Love you all. Ta-da. Right, here I am in the park. Yeah, nice. Now check this out. See, normally these are green. I'm sure they used to be dark green, right? But they're receiving too much blue light because of weather modification. You can see under there, they're red. Now these here are lucky because they're under the bloody, the shade mostly. But as you can see, they're still not healthy. Now, I don't know why these are growing the holes in there like this. I don't know. But check this shit out. Oh, I'm standing away. See, they're all dying. Now what's going on? It's not even summer yet, it's just changing to summer. Now, all the leaves are dying. It's because of dehydration. Check this lot out over here. Everyone knows leaves are green. They're not fucking purple. This is showing us that there's something very wrong with what's going on in the sky. Yeah, you can see that's not blue, is it? Although it is a nice day to most people, not to me, because that sky should be fucking blue. Look at all the holes. This is what weather modification is doing, right? And if it's affecting the plants like this, because we are pretty much the same as them, it's affecting us the same. Look at that. And on my way over here, I noticed that there's all leaves on the floor. Why the hell are there leaves on the floor, man? There shouldn't be. That happens in bloody autumn. I tell you what else happens in autumn, is that the plants, the fruit, they give off their seeds, don't they, in the autumn. Like my nan's plant, what it was is plum tree. But it's fruiting now. The apples are fruiting now. And no doubt they'll fruit again when it comes back to autumn. Right, I'll show you the leaves now. See this nice little thing here? I don't know what it used to be, but when I was a kid, all these little things here, they were big bushes, like, you know, I assume it's for privacy and stuff. So what the hell it was for, I don't know, but it's pretty cool. Right, here's the leaves. Look, check this shit out. You tell me, right, if there isn't something seriously wrong, why are the damn leaves falling off the trees when they're supposed to be thriving? Look at it, man. If anyone didn't know that the leaves were supposed to fall off the trees in autumn, they wouldn't see there's anything wrong. What the fuck is this? That's dehydration. So you've seen the leaves? Yeah. Devastating. But the things is going on all around us, and not many people are taking notice of it at all, and I tell people about it and they just don't care. And I don't understand why, because, you know, it's our environment, it's our habitat, and besides that, like I said, it's not just affecting them, it's affecting us, it's affecting the animals as well. There was something I wanted to add to the birth certificate. Your slave name is your legal name, yeah? So that's your last name, your surname, your legal name. So I don't use my slave name anymore unless it benefits me, which is why on YouTube my name is Dave Christ, because it shows that I'm a child of God and I'm not a slave owned by the fucking establishment. That's why I use that name, okay? It's not because I think I'm Jesus. Did Jesus really exist? You know what I mean? Yeah, okay, I'll say about that. So, let's say now, right, that I tell you that if you don't believe in a man, that you won't get into heaven and all your sins won't be forgiven, then you are manipulated by fear into believing in this man in you. Yeah? And if you think this man is divine, yeah, and he's the only Son of God, right? So if he is divine, then you will see divinity outside of yourself and not inside of yourself, in there. You see what I'm saying? So there's lots of good stuff in Christianity, okay? But I feel that there's a lot of crap in there. And they put that in there to make us not see the divinity in ourselves, so as we'll bow to authority, fake authority. You know, a different location. So that is Christianity. Another one I'll say a little bit about is Muslims. Islam. Islam was created by the bankers, or by arms of the bankers, or should I say tentacles, because they're fucking octopus and they're all over the world. And it was created by them to control Muslims. They allowed them to have 4 wives so they could breed faster and become the invading army that comes into the West, yeah, which is exactly what we're seeing now. That's all of what it's about. Allah sounds a lot like all law, doesn't it? As in all law. So all law is God. Yeah? But then you look at the symbolism used in Islam, and you'll see that in Mecca, they've got a black cube. A big black cube, right? Now the black cube represents Satan. Satan. Yeah? And they've got to walk around that pilgrimage, around that big black cube 7 times. Now I see that as symbolism, right? That their lives revolve around Satan 7 days a week. Yeah? What else could it mean? Yeah. Well, anyway, I just wanted to finish off my video because originally I only intended to make it 10 minutes, or around 10 minutes, but I've been home, I've put it all together, and it's like 40 odd minutes, for fuck's sake. So if you can download it. If you want to split it into sections and put it into parts and upload them in parts on the internet, do whatever, I don't care, right? It's just bastard flies. It's just that I have felt the need to say what I haven't seen anyone else saying, and that's it, basically. Like, I don't intend on making lots of videos. I'm not an entertainer. I don't entertain people, because entertainment's a lot of shit. Actually, yeah, I'll say a little bit about entertainment. Entertainment is to entertain your brain, because when you are entertained, you're not having your own thoughts. You're thinking about whatever you're seeing, right? So the corporations own the entertainment system, and through that they can make society, because we are the creators of reality, right? We act reality out or into existence. But because we are the creators of reality, right, if they pump ideas and all sorts of bullshit into our head, right, it's monkey see, monkey do. So then you've got people acting the shit out they see. So it's a way that the banker corporation bastards can control our reality. That's basically what it is. If there's anything else you want me to explain, just ask. I hate this YouTube shit. Put it in the comments, right? And I'm not like other ones. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe or any of that shit, because like I said, I don't plan on making loads and loads of videos. It's just, I'll say what needs to be said, because I don't give a fuck about corporations and their fake bastard authority. In fact, it's driving me fucking mad. One last thing. These Canaanites, they got kicked out of Canaan by the Israelites, which are the 12 tribes of Israel. Israel was a man who changed his name from Jacob to Israel. Yeah? So, and a group of people used to be a nation. So Israel isn't a real nation. It never was a real nation until it was created by the fucking Rothschilds. these Canaanites, after they were kicked out from Canaan, which is today Palestine, occupied by fucking Israel, they went up to Ukraine. And they were doing all of their sex magic and child molesting and everything, and the people around them weren't happy, in the neighbouring countries. So they told them to pick another religion. They give them 3 choices. I can't be asked to go into the choices, right? But they chose Judaism. Obviously, they were told as well that they've got to stop practicing the dodgy things with child, the sacrificing and all that shit. Well, they chose Judaism, and what they did was they installed the Babylonian Talmud into Judaism. They defiled it. So they're not Jews. No, I can't say whether all Jews are bad or not, because I don't know any Jews, and I don't bloody really want to, because my understanding is they're all obsessed with money. So, yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. But that's who runs the world. And it's all a fucking con. Keep your animals around me. Alright, ta-ra. Love you loads.